I'm Melanie, and I have a confession. I am horrible at resting. Or at least I used to be horrible at resting until I figured out my pattern. So, one of the things that I've noticed in terms of rest is that we have a pattern or an outlook of what we think rest is, and then we fall into this trap. But is it actually rest to begin with? Because I started this journey and discovering this pattern of myself mentally going, after this, I will rest. And then something else would come along, another task that was like, oh yes, I really should get this done. Like, this needs to be done. Like, I can't put this off. And then you'd be, after this, I will rest. And I got into this habit and into this pattern where I noticed that, like, I did it continuously, consistently, and pretty often. And so I made a rule for myself that I had to stick to, and I still have to do it to this day to stick to it. If not, I fall into that old pattern of, after this, I will rest, which is like 3 hours later when I've originally said it. So now the rule is that I only get one. I could only say it once. After this, I will rest. That's all. I get one. If I catch myself mentally or physically saying those words to myself, that's it. I only get it the one time. If another task comes up, sorry, I'm resting first. Because if not, like I said, it's 3 hours later and I still haven't gotten my rest yet. So that is number one pattern that I've noticed, and I've put a rule towards it. After that, after I've put awareness on that pattern and I've been, keeping up with my rule of I only get it one time, I noticed another pattern about my rest, in that when I did finally sit down to rest, or I followed my number one rule and I sat down and rest, I was making or preparing the next set of to-do or jobs that I needed to do. So, there's still this to do. I still gotta fold laundry. I still gotta put this away. I still got, we have that, right? And you're sitting there making the mental thing, or, hey, I still have to, book this doctor's appointment, or what, we all have those mental to-do lists that we build in our heads. And then I paused and I wondered, that's not actually rest, because I'm mentally working. I may not be physically working, but I'm mentally working while I'm taking my rest. So is that actually rest? Or am I pausing between tasks? And I felt like, no, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm pausing. I'm not actually resting, because a rest would be both physically and mentally not doing things, right? Like we're physically not doing tasks, but we also have to remember to not mentally do tasks. So that gave me a pause of like, I really need to focus on what my rest is. Even though it's 5-10 minutes in between tasks, I'm still not giving myself the proper rest that I need in order to continue with whatever life needs me to do in this time and place. So I realized that what my life has experienced has taught me was that I have to do work, or I have to do enough work to earn my rest. And it really came into realization, like it really put the cherry on top of that realization when I started to notice the pattern of my husband consistently asking me when I'm going to come and sit down and rest. And because it's not all the time that he does it, but there are times where he's sitting down and he's like, are you going to come and sit down? Like, are you going to come and rest? Like, you've been working and doing stuff all morning. Like, you can come and sit down and rest. Like, it's okay to sit down and rest. And when I noticed that pattern. Because, I mean, like, it's not all the time that he does it, but it's consistently enough that I'm like, why am I not allowing myself the time to rest? Why is it that somebody else outside of me has to tell me that I need to rest? Like, that is obviously things that I've been taught, that I've learned through my life experiences, that if I do not do it this way, then there's consequences. When now as an adult, there is no consequences. It's just the realization that it is a learned pattern, and I am able to change those patterns and create healthier patterns. So now I take my rest. Now I will grab a book and I will read that, and I could put a timer on for 5-10 minutes and be like, this is my rest before my next task. Because I have to take a break mentally, physically, and spiritually. And if I don't, then that's when I slowly burn out. Because it was also understanding the type of energy that I have. Because some of us, I'll let the car go by, some of us have an abundance of energy, right? Like, it just keeps going. You can do something for hours and hours and hours on end. And then there's some of us that it's almost like a battery, in which, like, you get you only have enough, like, a certain amount of energy, and you can get very easily drained. When I understood that that was my type of energy, that I was more of a battery, and that I only had a certain amount of energy to give, I shouldn't say, not necessarily to give, but to, like, there's only so much of a capacity of energy that I can hold on to without draining my battery. Or draining my battery. So it's to understand what is your energy and what is the capacity that your energy can take, and understanding, am I actually resting or am I pausing and just doing other tasks, especially mental tasks? But these are the things that we talk about in Serenity Soak. But in your bubble bath, so many times I have heard throughout my life of women saying they struggle with their bubble bath, or, you know, they want to take a bubble bath but they don't have time, or they want to but it doesn't hit the mark like they want it to. This is all nervous system work. This is understanding patterns like the ones that I just discussed right now in this episode. And because we have this thinking that the bath is just in the tub, it's just the water. But our bubble bath is so much more than just the water and the tub and the products that you put in it. It's about the whole space. It's about the internal I don't want to say values, but like knowledge that we have around it. And it's just to be able to open up that box and see that there is much more to that personal time than just soaking in water. Like, you can recharge your battery during a small window of time just by understanding what the intention is for that time. So that is what I work with as Serenity Soak. We actually build your bubble bath experience not through necessarily products. Yes, products are part of it, and scents and all of this stuff, yes, because that is part of the nervous system. So yes, there is part of that. But that's only a minor detail that many bubble bath companies are missing the mark on. It is so much more. It is about what you bring to the space, the energy that you bring to the space, what it means for you, because not everybody has the same things that will relax them, that have the same things that will bring them rest. So this is definitely an individual experience for you that you create for yourself in your bathroom at home. So if you would like to continue your journey, come and follow me at Serenity Soak program experience. It's wonderful, and I will see you next episode.